We are live here at Pardini's Restaurant, Nick and Matt Show, episode number 3. It is June the 18th, 2015. Matt, how are you?
I am absolutely spectacular, Nick. Thank you for asking.
Well, we're not on the Doghouse Grill. We're inside. It's cooler tonight. But you know why we're
inside.
Here? Why are we here?
For the 61st annual City County All-Star Football Classic. It's an absolute show that has to be seen. It's must-see TV. It's the best game of the year, in my opinion, because we get to showcase all the outstanding senior athletes as they progress on to the next chapter in their football lives.
One thing I've learned so far is...
Did I butcher that?
No, the first 2 episodes, your hands do not move. See, we're radio people. We're not TV people. And my hands are everywhere. I don't know. Matt is a Mr. Politician. Look at it. He will not move. The over and under will not move at all. But let me ask you, because you coached this game last year.
That's Italian.
60th annual game.
Yes.
We're going to try to get some All-Stars as well for our show. But you coached it last year. What's Pete Joseph from the city and Bonner Cunnings going from the county? The last night before the big game, but it was 105 degrees this week. But what's going on right now?
Well, right now, they are feverishly working to develop some sort of a game plan. You really only have about 3 practices. When you add it all up, the time you get everybody, graduations are going on, certain players can't make the practice. You get about 3 practices, let's just call it what it is. You get 6 to 8 hours of work in, and you got to put together an offense, defense, and special teams. What they're doing right now is trying to keep things as simple as possible. As they go into the game tomorrow evening, they want to make sure that execution is the number one factor. And I'm not talking 100% Friday night under the lights, high school football night execution. They're trying just to get the ball moving a little bit forward down the field, and who knows from there what's going to happen.
And don't you think once the lights turn on, the people show up, I think the kids go, you know what, one last time, this is kind of fun again. It kind of reminds me of Friday Night Lights back in October.
Yeah, absolutely. This is what we live for as football players. We live for games like this, whether it's, like I said, representing your high school or representing these all-star games. When the lights go on, LaMonica Stadium, kickoff hits at 7:30, even in warm-ups, obviously, they're going to be sky high, ready to play football, and all of that lack of being in shape and all that goes out the window. They're ready to go full speed.
Well, you and I will be we'll be doing the radio broadcasting for 940 ESPN. Nick and Matt will be on the air. I'm excited because, the county is definitely a big underdog this year, but you know what? They bring the crowd. It's always 2-1 crowd over city, and they get fired up. These county kids, they hear all the hype about the city kids all the time. The PAG meter talks track, CMAC all the time. Well, they want to show that they can hang with the city kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And more than anything else, I mean, sometimes we have a tendency, and other people in the media have a tendency to talk a little bit too much about the county wants it more, the county it means more. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I just believe that the teams, the high schools that represent the city side, get a bad rap on that. I think both young men from county and city are very happy to be here and are really ready to put on a show. I just think, as you said, though, don't care where you're at. It has nothing to do with Fresno or our county. Anywhere in America, small town America, does have a certain core set of values where I believe it's a little bit more family based. That's just my opinion, but I think that's why you see larger crowds that come in, because they're going into the city representing a football game inside a big house, a big stadium, LaMonica, where the big Division I schools play. I think the county families get a little more excited about that. They've never been there. They haven't done that. Yeah. Whereas the city teams, a lot of those schools that represent the city, have been in those kinds of setups and stadiums and all that. So that might be the case. But as far as the young football player, I think both sides, city, county, they're happy to be here and ready to roll.
And I think playing at LaMonica Stadium for some of these county kids, they get to play. This is one of maybe the best stadium they'll be playing all year, or they have played all year.
Yeah, there's a few. Let's not forget.
No, they do have beautiful stadiums.
Yeah, you go out to Kingsburg and some of those schools in the county that you and I've had a great opportunity and been blessed with to go out and talk and call the action on Friday nights and Thursday nights and Saturdays. There are good stadiums around there, but there's some history, let's say. There's some mystique behind that good old LaMonica Stadium. Lots of great football games. I remember, just not to ramble, but I remember watching Long Beach Poly and Deshaun Jackson getting after Clovis East in that stadium. There's been a lot of unbelievable big school talent that's played in that stadium.
And that stadium still looks brand new. Well, speaking of crowds, you mentioned crowds. 21 years ago, Maddie, it's amazing it's been 21 years. I mean, it was on a Thursday night 21 years ago. O.J. Simpson, some of you weren't even born yet, but for us, It's kind of like our parents were when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Where were you at when you watched it? Well, where were you at when O.J. Simpson and that Bronco chase? Because everyone was glued to their TVs. And Matt, O.J. Simpson on that Bronco chase night, 95 million people watched. That started the whole reality shows. Then all of the Kardashians. You had Bruce Jenner and the Caitlyn, and then Bachelor show, The Survivor, Fear Factor, all. The producers.
Gold Rush, my
favorite. All the
favorite.
producers and all these people said, you know what? 95 million people just watched OJ on TV. Is he going to kill himself? He's not going to kill himself. AJ Callion's walking down the street. But back then, and OJ Simpson was, for our time, was a Jim Brown back in the day. He was Mr. Everything.
The
And
juice.
so when you saw him in that Bronco, where were you at when you saw that?
I was at home. I was living in Orange County at the time, Southern California, and I watched it along with all the rest of America. But being that close off the 405 freeway, being a USC Trojan alumni, knowing O.J. Simpson very well, been to several parties and had lots of great
Come
times.
on, you know OJ.
Yes, O.J. Made it very clear to everybody that was part of the USC Trojan football family that he's around, he's always on top of us at practice, get an opportunity to sit down dinner with you. And so I got a chance to obviously get to know a guy that I really, as you said, he was growing up, I wore number 32 in Pop Warner football because of Jim Brown and then O.J. Simpson, of course. So, family got an opportunity to sit next to O.J. at home games at the LA Coliseum. But more importantly, the guy that I really got a chance to meet and really spend a lot of quality time with was the driver of that Bronco, another Trojan, AC, Al Cowlings. And Al Cowlings has a tremendous friendship with O.J. They came through USC together, but AC Cowlings is the guy that I spent most of my time with of the older generation of Trojans.
So you're watching on TV going, that's AJ.
Not
That's-
AJ, AC.
I mean AC.
AC.
And that's OJ and AC. What's going on? You had to be glued.
Yeah, I glued.
you
I don't
think-
think
yeah.
I went to work for at least a couple of years because every episode on Court TV, I was so riveted to that case. And not only because it was so sensational and two people tragically murdered, but it is without question the greatest must-see television event that I've ever witnessed in my lifetime. And you had to watch it. I did, at least.
You know, if you get a chance, go to YouTube. There's so many great things about the OJ from A to Z. I mean, from did OJ do it? Did he not do it? Everyone made up their minds back in the day. But now, you watch some of those. I was convinced. I watched it last week after they had the anniversary that maybe it was O.J. Simpson's son, Jason, and O.J. was covering it up. We'll never know. Really, I mean, everyone seems to think it was O.J. with all the blood, but the L.A. PD, boy, did they mess up the investigation.
Yeah, the entire
It was a fire drill.
the entire chain of evidence, if you will, was botched from the very beginning. And then you introduce real true racism with Mark Furman. It had every element that
It was a
Central
reality
Casting would just eat up. It was reality TV at its finest. You're absolutely right. I do believe you're right. I think it might have been the first of a long string of reality TV based stuff. And but you couldn't have, like I said, you couldn't have sat down with 45 top-notch writers in Hollywood and put a script together better than what happened in real life. Guy driving home, like, what'd you do with the shoe? I took him home the night, Van Adder. Remember that? Yeah, I had him on my front seat. You didn't chuck him in as evidence? Well, I brought him home with me. The next day I brought him back. Where was the blood evidence? Well, I took that home also. Really? How'd the blood seep through the sock? It looked to me like an eyedropper. I mean, there was so much there. No blood found. They left the crime scene, came back weeks later. Oh, we did find blood actually on the back gate, but after they already closed up the investigation on the yard. It was crazy.
3 days later, they hosed it all down. Can you imagine? Hey, we need to go back to Nicole's house. Hey, what? They hosed it down already? We're not done yet. It was a cluster.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you, Judge Ito, and you got to go back to YouTube and check it out. But we got to, we were the PA announcer, and Matt was a big help at the city-county baseball game. And I'm going to give you a little tip out there for the PAG meter. I'm new at this camera stuff. I'm learning. I took some great photos, Matt. I had Matt get there at 3 o'clock so we could take photos. I had teams, coaches. I had Mr. Maldonado, who's the first player at Parlier since 1996, and I wanted to get a picture with him. Matt took a picture. We were like that. I was excited. I got home. The one thing, if you camera guys, what I think it's a very important, Matt, is you got to put the memory card inside the camera. I forgot to put the memory card inside the camera. I took 500 pictures and for nothing. You got to have a memory card.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. Forgive me for the 100 watchers of this show. I haven't heard that. Wait, back up. All the photos we took, we were out there in the hot sun, watching batting practice, taking team photos, individual shots.
Yeah.
You didn't put a memory card in your camera?
Forgot to put the memory. It's sitting in the camera bag, so
Can
I think it works.
Cut. We want to go to break, please. I need to what about the pictures? What about the shots when Derek Jeter flew in, especially to get a quick shot with the All-Stars? You and I got a chance to hang out with Derek for about 2 hours.
Didn't get it. I am country dumb. Let me just tell you, I learned a lot. I've never had a camera in my life. Since we started the show, this is the first time I've had a camera. So
That's a shame.
well, let me ask Matt. This is brought to you by Rain for Rent. Again, we'll have a nice commercial, Rain for Rent. But it's been a week. Anything bugging you? Anything you need to get off? Because the old radio show, you'd have like the Matt rant. You'd come in, and there'd be something on your mind. There's got to be something for a whole week. What's bugging you?
Well, yeah, I spend.
Sports or not? We don't know what.
I
it
think
is.
when I turned 40, I spent through the 40s now, and I'm into my 50s. I spent probably 10 years just compiling. When I'm on the road, like a lot of us adults, I take a note. When I see something that's not right, I log that into my phone, or I'd write a quick little memo, and which gives me great material at all times for when I'm out with
when you're doing your stand-up
socializing and doing my
in
stand-up
Vegas.
routine. But first and foremost, without question, let's get this straight. No, what are you laughing? I haven't even started yet.
When you say get this straight,
Let's get this straight.
okay, here we go.
Obviously, smart move. You can't drive and speak and talk on your cell phone. That goes without saying, right? But
There's
then
a
it took
law.
them at least probably a year to figure out texting's a whole lot more dangerous to text. So you don't text, you don't
Please
drive.
do not text and drive
You don't
out there.
text, you don't drive.
Yes.
But apparently, someone felt like we can splash the entire community with billboards everywhere. So it doesn't matter. Wherever you're driving,
So
you're being
true.
distracted with a giant sign in your
Yes.
face.
They want you to remember a phone number.
So I can't get on my phone and drive. Granted, texting, driving, no good. Phone driving, really no good. But yet there's billboards that are way more distracting for my money than being on the phone
Wow.
talking as I'm driving.
Yes.
So that's number one. I mean, I make that observation. I tell you that all the time.
There's a billboard about every 500 feet, it seems like.
Oh,
Right
yeah.
on 99.
Yeah, no, they're everywhere. I'm not just talking out on 99 freeway. I'm talking about where I drive. There's signs right in my what?
Go
and you
down
can't help.
Blackstone. How
You
about
can't help.
Blackstone?
They're there for a reason. There's guys spinning cards in your face. Jewelry, $3.99, 2 for 1, gold special. Is that distracting? It is to me.
What if your air conditioning's out? You have to turn that nozzle, don't you? It's hot outside.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can get to my
Okay.
buttons pretty
All
good.
right,
I've got.
okay,
I don't know
good.
what.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing. with
No,
your
I don't know
thumbs.
what generation you're from
Yeah, I
yet,
don't
but
know.
I've got all my controls at my fingertips when I'm driving.
Even the air conditioning?
Well, that's true. It's right here.
No, your air conditioning's
that's-
far
No,
yonder
it's
away.
right there. But my ergonomics of my Subaru are perfect. Now, back to the central point. That kills me. And one other thing, and I won't go on a rant. We'll take a break. But who's the conductor of the train? You gotta love the train system in our town. Where I live on the west side, man, I see the train a lot, and I hear the train a lot.
They put it right in the middle of Fresno.
Has to be done. Department of Transportation, the business and commerce has to continue down the corridor. I get it. But when you send your train across and the arm comes down and everyone's waiting and waiting and waiting, who's the guy? Do they do this on person? The train starts slowing down right as you get, and you're thinking, wait, there's only one more car left. Don't, and they stop at the last remaining car and let you sit there in the hot sun for another 20, 30 minutes.
Well, do you think it's the guy?
They do that on purpose.
The guy driving the train who's got 700 cars, maybe he judged it wrong.
No,
You
no,
know,
no, no, no,
sometimes-
no, no. He,
No?
as they went by, the guy's ding, ding, and he's looking out, and he saw somebody,
Yeah, but he's
reminded
way
him he's
out
having a
there.
bad
He's 2
day,
miles
maybe.
away, though.
No, he
Really?
Listen, he goes by, he sees a row of cars, he recognizes, man, look at the jerk in the little El Camino there. Really? Okay. Like, hey, Bobby, let me know when we get about 4 train lengths back, and start shutting her down. Let's put that thing and let him sit a little bit longer.
No, well, or it could be
Have a little
maybe-
fun at work. Let's have a little fun at
Maybe
work.
he misjudged. It's like you playing golf. He should have hit a 5-iron, but you hit a 7-iron right in the water.
Obviously, there's a good reason. I'm thinking that the train was so long because it had 636 cars. I counted every one of them. It's the longest train I've ever seen. I'm thinking that the train is so long, it stretches to the next crosswalk. Right?
Yeah.
And so they didn't just they got a 2-for-1. It's like a joke. Hey, can we expand the train long enough to where it takes up 2 crosswalks? We'll get back, take a break, and talk about
Well,
more
before
things.
we go,
Really?
I got one more thing. I think
thing.
this is one of the greatest athletic athletes I've ever seen. I don't know if you've heard. You probably have. I think it's Pat Venditti. He's a relief pitcher for the Oakland A's. You have any idea?
Yeah, hello, ba-do. Let's go left, right, hello.
Is this not the greatest? Well, what would you compare to football? Here's a major league. It's not like he's in high school, Babe Ruth, or even in college. This guy's playing for the major league Oakland A's. He throws left. He throws right. He's got a special mitt. What do you compare? Like, would it be?
It would be
a running back running backwards.
No. The comparison would be by position, since he makes two positions, a left pitcher and a right
He
hand pitcher.
throws 90 left and 90 right.
Right. The comparison would be, you're the team's starting running back. You also are the team's long snapper and
Not
PAT.
even
No,
close.
I'm not done yet.
Okay.
Long snapper, PAT, field goal. Okay, chill out. By
You
the way,
gotta give me
also,
more than that.
well, I'm not done yet. By the
Okay.
way, I also punt for the
More,
club.
I want more.
And then on defense, I'm the starting corner. So I have coverage ability. I run the football. I can kick the football. I can punt the football. And one last thing.
I want more.
You want more?
Is he flying the plane too? Maybe to
No,
the games?
no. He has to have a skill that's really.
There's not, because all you got to
he's
do.
a quarterback.
You got to be in
He's
shape.
a quarterback. It's
to play
bottom-
for these guys tonight, the city county game. Some of these kids who can't go both ways. If you're wondering why they're not playing both ways, the city county committee won't let them. We're going to work on that because I think it really penalizes the county. But this kid throws left and right. Now I asked Mike Brink, our umpire specialist, what is the rule? So let's say I'm that pitcher and Matt's batting, and I'm getting ready to go. I'm going to throw left hand. I got the mitt, and he's a right-handed batter. So Matt can go back and forth anytime he wants.
Yes.
All right.
Yep,
So
I did get that.
The pitcher, what I just understood, I didn't really understand. He has to tell the umpire, I'm going left now. I have to tell the umpire I'm going left-handed.
And why? I heard that on
Well, because I think if
on my sports television show that I like to watch, and I'm thinking, why?
Well,
if I'm going to be good enough to be able to pitch left-handed 90, right-handed 90, that's my. I worked at that. Do I have to announce to the guy which side I'm coming at you
I
with?
totally agree with
I think
that.
the advantage is you don't know. The next pitch is right, and I'm not telling you anything.
So I put on my Facebook.
That's the problem with baseball. They overthink this stuff.
I put it on Facebook, a picture of a minor league player, and the batter kept flip-flopping, and the umpire said, hey, enough, stop. And so he went out there and told the pitcher, and then he ended up striking him out. You're right. I mean, if I'm on the hill, and I'm getting ready, and I got the sign, it's a fastball, I could pitch any way I want. I don't understand why they make him do that. And as a batter, if you're not a switch hitter, you're pretty much screwed. Because if I'm a righty and I don't know what's coming, I just think when I saw that, it's one of the greatest I've ever seen.
Well, it is to be able to pitch in the major leagues, both hands. But wouldn't that be the same if because that's the highest level, that's Major League Baseball. But wouldn't that be the same if your favorite golfer, whoever that might be, let's say that Justin Rose drives with his left hand, all his approach shots are right-handed.
A lot of people do that.
Well, no, they can't do that because you only carry 14 clubs.
Well, you can have half and half if you wanted.
Yeah, but if someone did, I would equate that would be the same as what you're talking about. Don't even kid yourself.
No.
You know how hard it is to be a PGA Tour golfer, let alone win tournaments? If you can switch hands up as you're playing, that's a phenomenal skill
All right,
at that level.
I'll give you half a point on that.
Okay.
All right, let's take a break. We're going to come back and try to get a hold of some city, county all-stars.
What do you mean try and get a hold? We're going to go get a hold of some guys.
Okay, all right.
And coaches.
All right. I just hope we don't run into a train. How about that?
Could take a
Brought to you
while.
by Rain for Rent. We'll be back. Nick and Matt Show, June the 18th, 2015. We'll be right back.
Your life is intertwined with water. It grows the food you eat, powers the world, and helps discover the fuel to move. You use water every day. We move water every day. You may know the basic equipment you need on your job, but when you're challenged by liquid handling, you need an experienced team backed by skilled engineers. That's part of what we call liquid ingenuity, and it's what differentiates Rain for Rent. Liquid ingenuity is experience. Planning is backed by skilled engineers and specialized teams who understand your industry. Liquid ingenuity is safety. Rain for Rent's flexible team adapts to changes and helps mitigate your risks. Liquid ingenuity is effectiveness. Projects are done right the first time, on time, with the best filtration and pumping systems designed to meet your needs. Liquid Ingenuity is innovation. Rain for Rent is working to redefine what is expected from a liquids handling provider by developing new equipment and harnessing technology. Liquid Ingenuity is equipment. Rain for Rent's complete line of pumps, tanks, filtration units, spill guards, and pipe are built to handle your toughest jobs in the most demanding environments. The equipment is designed tough because you depend on it. And you aren't the only one. Experts in water and wastewater, construction, up, mid, and downstream petroleum, manufacturing, mining, agriculture, power, disaster relief, and remediation all choose Rain for Rent. That's why Rain for Rent employs the best to make your choice easy. In this busy world, when you find yourself seeking an experienced, effective solution from someone who understands your industry needs, count on Rain for Rent.
We are live here at Pardini's Restaurant, here at the third episode here, June 18th, 2015, Nick and Matt Show. We're with Pete Joseph, head coach of the McLean Highlanders, but tomorrow night you're the city coach. Yeah, I got it. My big question for Pete is, you're seeing all these athletes. Are you kind of saying, wow, I want these guys to be Highlanders?
Hey, I'm telling you right now that when you're out there and you're thinking to yourself, how could I not have met these kids when they were in second grade? Somehow made a connection. Yeah. But you know what? Listen, I think that, and Matt and I have talked about this quite a bit. It's just about keeping your kids on your home base. If you can keep your kids in the area of town that you're at, that's all that's important. It's just great to be around these athletes. They've been well coached by Coach Johnson and other coaches. I mean, I'll tell you what, not a single kid questioned what we were doing schematically, what we were saying, how we practice, the rhythm of practice. And I think that says a lot about the coaches in the Valley, the kids, because they could have came out there and said, hey, who are you? It's McLean. Piss off, but they didn't do that, and it was great. It was a great experience.
Well, my question is, Coach, we talked about it in the intro here today, that the hardest thing that I coached in this game was to try to fashion out some semblance of the ability to at least move the ball on a consistent basis, getting that execution. Did you find that you kept it real simple for this game tomorrow night, or give me your take on how and what was your style to get this thing rolling on offense and defense, special teams?
Yeah, we I specifically, when I built the team, tried to find guys that fit our schematically a little bit more what we do, and then I kept it really simple. We don't have a lot going on, and we're going to look, hopefully mismatches work our favor, and we're just going to try to exploit things and see what happens. Type of system we run, that Coach Cunnings runs too. It's a spread system. You can't be afraid to take shots when they're there, and you can't be afraid to take the matchups. So that's what we're going to be looking for. But offensive football is all about getting into a rhythm.
Yep.
And we got 4 quarterbacks, and we're going to play them all. So that you have to say to yourself, what's more important, trying to win the game, that's the only thing, or trying to get these kids on the field that have deserved it and earned it, and that's what we're going to do.
So how do you, talking with Pete Joseph, the city coach for tomorrow night, you've got really, we were talking about it, the first week it's tough because you got graduation everywhere. You really got 3 practices. How do you get your offense, and I know the good news is a lot of these guys have run a spread already, but how do you get an offense in so quickly?
Yeah, well, again, I took some advice from the man over here, Coach Johnson, and we staggered practices to a point where I knew exactly what graduations were hitting, what kids were missing. So I would run the same exact practice and same exact schemes and plays.
I like it.
So we would hit it. So we went 2 or 3 days in a row, but by the time we were done, after the first 4 or 5 practices, every kid, like they were there for 2 or 3 straight days. So it worked.
Well, Coach, we're going to let you get back to the dinner. We have more things to probably talk about later. But, hey, congratulations.
Thanks.
Not only on a fine year for you personally, but your team and all the young guys involved in this game.
Yeah.
It's a special day.
Appreciate it. Honored to do it.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pete Joseph, the city coach, will be back with Bonner Cunnings, the county coach, when we come back. Nick and Matt Show. All right.
Bingo.
You guys
Okay.
are great.
Perfect.
We are back, the Nick and Matt Show here, June 18th, 2015. We're with Bonner Cunnings, the head coach of the County All-Stars, and we got to ask you. It's my question is, you've got really 3 days to put all your offense and defense and in. How's the offense gelling right now so quickly?
Well, that's the magic question, is how do you get these kids to show up for practice? And we had a challenge there. If I could give them one mark, it would be their attendance.
Yeah.
So putting together something's going to be somewhat of a miracle, I think.
And, Coach, we've had an opportunity, just as I've had a chance to talk with Coach Joseph of the city, but, you've got it. You're a little bit nervous, and we all are because we're all competitive. But you've got one running back now, or you're going to go with maybe another guy that has to play a position that wasn't really his chief position at running back. I know you've got a little problem there, and then gelling that offensive line. I know some guys kind of pulled out of this game, and those are two important factors in all-star games. How's it looking up front and in the running game?
We're about half of what we wanted to be in terms of numbers. We picked 60-something, and we ended up with 30-something. So, obviously the attendance, we didn't have a practice.
That's a big difference.
Yeah, there was kids missing in every position, offense and defense. So I just told the kids they better come to play. They represent the small town kids, the faraway places, the small communities, and those families are going to be there. You better play hard for them, and we'll let the chips fall where they may.
Well, Bonner, let me ask you, because I'm harping on the city-county committee. I want to see you guys have the opportunity, if you want to play guys both ways, play them both ways.
Yeah.
It's survival of the fittest, especially
Yeah.
when you get down to 30-plus players. And I think it benefits the city when you guys can't play. Because those kids, your county kids, they don't come off the field.
Right.
They're playing 48 solid minutes. And what's your feelings on that?
Well, I agree. We've got kids driving from all over. I think our furthest is Kalinga. That's a long way to drive.
Yeah.
8 practices.
Yeah.
So I think that affected the attendance. And, I think maybe, I don't know, making it city and county, we're really going to have some athletes and everybody show up for this to be a good game on a consistent basis. And so I'm excited. We got kids. I told them, I said, if you're ready to play hard because you're not coming off the field, I think we have one extra receiver. So, that's it. We got 5. We don't have an extra DB. They don't come off the field. I don't have an extra lineman. So we're going to see some Ironman football. Hopefully they're in condition.
Well, and another plus factor for you, at least from a coach, and all the coaches are so good out there, but you've had an opportunity to coach really in Division I and then get playoff games or a division or 2 below, but your guys aren't exactly unaware of a big game type atmosphere. There's a lot of guys that play for you, especially Madera, that they've been in these kind of games. It always cracks me up. But they're not used to. Well, if you played with Madera Coyotes, they're playing Edison, Bullard,
yes.
big time schedule. Then they have it. So you guys have a little bit more balance as far as that wide eye going out and kind of playing out of their minds with not feeling comfortable. I think you guys, especially your quarterback, he has to be a little more comfortable than in the past some of the county quarterbacks have come in.
Yeah, I challenged the kids. I said, listen, because y'all haven't been here to practice, you better step up your game because I'm going to put you in front of an athlete and it's going to be you and him. And so let's see if you step up. It's kind of a challenge. Y'all be here on a regular basis, then we can create some continuity. Well, now you're on the stage with an athlete. It's you and him. Let's see it.
Well, Coach, I wish you all the best tomorrow night.
Thank you, sir.
We're going to go grab some players now.
Yes, sir.
Bring some
One of the
all-stars
all-time
in.
best
Yeah,
right here.
really is.
This guy's one of the
You
guys
got
that
it
I would love
going
to
on.
play for right here.
Derek Coyotes,
Bonner Cunnings.
You got it going on. We'll
Yep.
be back. Nick and
Thank
Matt
you.
Show live from Pardini's. We'll be back. Welcome back. We are live here at Nick and Matt Show here at Pardini's on the City County eve of the football game. Now we're with the quarterback of the city, Austin Autry. I got to watch this guy really since 7th grade. You're a little baby Bronco, and now you're City County. Is it me? I'm getting older. What's going on?
I don't know. Both.
Tell the
I'm
truth.
getting older. Getting older.
Yeah.
Well, tell me though. Let's talk about your senior year. You got banged up.
Yeah.
Come back. You're still one of the most durable, hard-nosed quarterbacks I've ever seen, Matty. And he really is. And he was a leader. Got to win the Valley his junior year. That was kind of fun, huh?
Yeah. Well, got beat up in the Valley game, but besides that, it was pretty good. Yeah.
So tell me about this week of practice because you've only had about 3 or 4 days to get the offense in.
Yeah.
What's it going to be like?
It's gonna be good. McLean offense is pretty high tempoed and spread offense. It's fun. It's a lot of fun to work with in there.
What's it mean, Austin, around the house? Your father played in this game. Now you're the next generation getting ready to rock and roll, and you're both quarterbacks. Is there a little bit extra pressure to live up to that, or is it just all good at the house?
It's all good at the house. I think I'll put a little pressure on myself. None from my dad at all. My dad kind of makes a joke out of it. He holds the record for most completions, attempts, and interceptions.
That's
in the
right.
game.
That's what I refer
And
to.
interceptions, 5 interceptions. So I'm not trying to break that record, but the other 2 would be cool.
Well, with 4 quarterbacks, is there 4 on the roster?
4,
What's
yeah.
the rotation plan look like?
I think we're gonna go every other series or every series, and if someone's hot and doing it right there, they're just gonna keep them in the game.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're all supporting each other. really good friends. So it's gonna be awesome.
Oh, they say that now, Matty. You know, we're all good. We all love each other, but when the game starts, you're going to be, hey, give that guy some bad Gatorade over there. I want you know,
So
but-
tell
I think it's funny.
after high school, now you've graduated. Give us the plan. Now you're going to go off to college. I know you're going off to play some ball still. Tell us about that.
I'm gonna go play football with Coach C at Fresno City.
Yep,
and,
very
I'm
good.
Gonna go there. And
Good.
very successful program. So I'm gonna go there. Yeah, my
Okay.
backyard.
Any ideas and down the road, business wise, acting in your future?
I've kind of a little bit. Yeah,
He has the look.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I've talked to my dad about it, acting business and
He's
stuff.
got the
We'll
Justin
see.
Timberlake look. With
He's
Yeah.
a little James Dean. He's got the little bit of
Gotta
Sean
get-
Penn.
Gotta get my degree first.
Yeah, I
then
know
I'll-
you
then
do.
we'll
I
do
like
it.
that. Talking with Austin Autry, the former Clovis North quarterback. Now he's coaching, he's playing at the City County All-Star game. And you got some talent. We just had dinner. I watched both teams. The City is a heavy favorite by the PAG meter. Heavy favorite. You got talent. How much? Who's the guy that you didn't know going in? You got to play, practice with him. You said, this guy's good and he's a great guy. Who's your one guy? Give me one.
One guy. Jeez, that's hard to think.
Okay, give me two.
All right, I'm gonna say Marcus Cummings and JJ, and I'm gonna give you a third. I'm gonna give you AJ Greeley too. I
Yeah.
think they're all good. Actually, I'm gonna give you four. Tyler Horton too. I like him a lot too. Both of all those
Have
guys.
you ever heard of those guys, Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Heard a lot about this guy here, though. And
Oh, there
the
you go.
thing that stands out for me, seriously, is that in watching you grow up and mature through junior high and high school, tough guy. And that's what I've always admired about
tough.
him.
Thank you.
He's not going in there and, some of the quarterbacks, you laugh a little bit, put the skirt on him a little. This guy he plays the game the right way.
He's
So I-
the Brett Favre of high
Yes,
school football. I call him.
absolutely, absolutely.
He would do whatever he could to make that big play. If it's running over a guy, even though it's 150 pounds bigger than him, he'll try it.
Thank you.
So tell us about you. I think, was that the Central game? What was it where I watched you got? It was the Hello Darkness, my old friend, hit of the night. You got up and you were seeing little purple elephants.
Yeah,
what game was that?
That was the Central game.
Yeah.
I did 360 through a dumb interception over the middle of the field, and that was God's punishment on me. I think getting laid out like that. So
How did it feel? Tell the young guys out there who's never got their bell rung. What did it feel like at the time?
I don't really feel anything. It's just kind of the post thing. It's kind of like scary, but besides that, it's just you don't really feel anything. You don't really know you have a concussion until after, and people are telling you, "Hey, man, you're acting a little weird." So yeah, that's pretty much it.
we saw him, Nick, and we kept saying, he's trying to get in. He's trying to get in. And, but they did the right thing. And that's,
Yeah, I got in for that drive.
Yes,
we,
you did.
We scored the next drive, and then they took me out the second half because vomiting at halftime.
Well, tell me about how long does it take to get over that?
Honestly, it's just progress over that. It's probably took me probably a good 2 weeks to get over
2
that.
weeks.
There wasn't actually a diagnosed concussion. I tried to get everything out of the way. Hopefully, I can play. I try to tell the doctors I'm good.
So
and
what's it
they
right
gave me
now?
a go ahead.
What do you like right now?
Right now, I'm good.
100%.
I'm 100%. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, good luck tomorrow
Thank
night.
you,
Austin
appreciate
Autry, one of the good guys. We got, like I said, I go to a lot of the Clovis North youth games, and he was the super. There's Austin Autry, the legend, as a young guy growing up. And hey, where's your ring at? Come, you don't have your Valley Championship.
He stole it from me. He
Yeah.
stole it from me.
No.
no.
He's got a nice big one, fat one.
I
too.
got 2 conference
Yeah,
championships, but
yeah.
no ring. Sadly, no bling.
So no Bo for this game. All the run for me, couldn't play.
No, I think he just don't want to get hurt or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
All right, Austin. Good
Good.
luck tomorrow
Thank you,
night. We'll
appreciate
see you
it.
tomorrow.
Congratulations.
Austin Autry.
Thank you.
We'll be back. Nick and Matt show here at the Pardini's. We'll be back. Welcome back to Pardini's. It's the Nick and Matt show live at for the City County. It's the City County Eve. Nick and Matt,
61st annual.
61st annual, and we got Matthew Elms from Dos Palace of Bronco.
Yes, sir.
Welcome in.
Thank you.
How was the dinner tonight?
It was excellent. Food was
So,
good.
so let me ask you, Matthew. You got the City guys walking in. What were you thinking when you see these guys come in? Is there a little like, okay, we can hang with these guys, or what are you thinking?
Yeah, that was the first thing that came to mind, and then the second thing was that they're got a lot more players than we do. I know
Well, that wasn't by design, though. I talked to
Yeah.
Coach Cunnings earlier. You had about 60 guys, but
Yeah,
you got down
a
to
lot of
about
them dropped.
30, 32, 33
Yeah.
players. Yeah.
But
That's a good thing, man. Lots of
Yeah.
time, and you get a little more chance to gel with your
Yeah,
teammate.
they have
Yeah,
4
it is.
quarterbacks. You've got what, 5 offensive linemen?
Yeah, that's
4
it.
defensive linemen. So you're playing the whole game. Are you in
Yes,
shape?
sir.
You ready?
yes, sir. I'm ready for it. Always in shape. Always training.
What are you going to play? They got you guard,
Center.
Center.
I'm playing
Okay.
Center this today.
And that's
Or
obviously
tomorrow
what
night.
you did at Dos Palace. You
Yes,
were the
sir.
center.
Yes, I was.
What'd you play on defense?
I played D tackle and D end.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
something we
a
talked
little bit
about
of
all the time. I'm sure at your school they asked you to pretty much never leave the field. I'm sure.
Oh,
Probably.
never did.
Yeah, never left the field.
This is what I'm trying to say. City County, Matthew needs to play on the field for 48 minutes tomorrow night. That's just the way
Well,
it
Nick,
is.
and that's really Matt. I'm telling you, that's That's the advantage, but they make it a disadvantage in this game because the guys who play in the county, for the most part, not everyone, but there is no two platoon system. You're doing it on defense and offense. Now, let me ask you, during the year, how hard was that in September, late October, or late August, those first real few weeks of hot weather?
Oh.
Did they strategically give you breaks, or do you just battle through it the whole way?
Oh no, it's battling through it the whole
Yeah.
way. Yeah, there are no breaks. I'll be honest. The first game, I was drained. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
But after the first game, you kind of just get the feel for it and
Right.
start getting into the motion of things.
Now, in the future, let's talk college. Let's talk about your plans. What's your
Going to Gilroy, to Gavilan College up
Very
there.
good.
To play for Coach Dovenberg.
Yep, know it
Just
well.
took over this last year. So
okay? Are you gonna
Getting
get
excited
stay?
for
Are you gonna
that.
stay in the Central Valley and kind of that ag world, or what are you gonna try to do in college?
Well, I would like to go major in criminal justice. I'm
Okay.
a CHP officer.
Very good.
Probably minor in
Will you be nice if you
kinesiology,
see us
so-
down the road, maybe?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Talk with Matthew Elms from Dos Palos. Now, tell me, you just said it took you a game or two to get ready. You got one game tomorrow night. What kind of shape are we in right now?
I mean, being that I'm only going one way this game, I'm good right now.
See what I
I'm
mean?
in good enough
One
shape
way.
for that. Yeah, one way is easy.
Yeah, he's laughing at this. It's like, really? A lot of time for breaks, but you are the most inspirational player, voted on by the team and the coaches for this county all-star team. What does that mean to you personally to have an award? Because the inspirational award, for my money, is really the best award a young man can get, because that means you're doing things the right way. Tell me about your feeling of accepting such a great award.
It caught me off guard. I mean, I wasn't expecting it. A lot of the times I talk with my pads and I talk with my work. I don't do a lot of talking at practice. I'm not very
Right.
vocal. I can be at times, but most of it's just with my hard work and trying to motivate people to work harder.
Talking with Matthew Elms of Dos Palos. So tell us about the county coaches, Coach Bonner.
Oh, they're great
What's
guys.
is he a little wild like he was at the dinner tonight?
Yes, he
The
is.
3 claps? Or?
All 2 weeks, 3 claps, hooping and hollering and everything. They're great guys.
So you guys are going to be. So name a couple guys on the county that you come from Dos Palos, and you guys are coming all over the valley in one shot. Who's the one guy that said, you know what, he's a really good guy. I've never met him before.
John Faw from Washington Union.
Oh, the big fella. Yeah.
The big calves.
Oh, big calves.
Big calves. Insane calves. He's
So
a
he's
good
funny.
guy. Yeah, he's funny.
So he's guard or tackle?
He's guard.
He's gonna be
He's
right
playing,
next to you then.
Yeah, he's playing my right side.
Your right
my
guard.
right guard.
So he's the guy. So you guys, so the offense, you only have 5. Name your offensive linemen. Because you only have 5 guys. You know?
Yeah, we got a Rico at left tackle, and then we got a Calderon at guard.
Love it.
At guard.
Yeah.
No, he's our other tackle, and then we have
That's okay.
Faw at guard, and then we have forgot his name.
But leave it to the pack.
Omar.
Yeah,
There we
yeah,
go.
great.
Yeah, great,
All right,
great
so-
question.
so
Just
what do
met
you-
the guys.
what are you
Okay,
gonna do
Hey,
tomorrow?
can you do me a favor? Can you name the starting defense too while we're at it?
Starting
Can we do a little of that?
defense,
No,
no,
just
no.
kidding.
Tomorrow, game day, it's going to be 102 all day. But what do you do to get ready for tomorrow night? You have 5 guys. There's no cramping involved. You can't come off the field. So what do you do tomorrow? Is there a special meal you eat? Or
No, I just stay hydrated all week. A lot of it's Pedialyte.
So he's
good.
going to be high with
Very good.
He already got the game plan. Tomorrow night will be nothing.
No, sir.
Have you ever been to LaMonica Stadium?
No, I have not.
It's very nice. You're going
I've
to love
heard
it.
it is.
And how many people are coming from Dos Palos to see?
Oh man, I've been talking to my coaches there at the high school, or my past coaches, and they've said that they almost got the whole team trying to go out there and support me. So
Oh, see, does that
I'm
get
looking
you
forward to
fired
that.
up? Though?
Oh yeah, it does. It does. Coming from a little town like that, so I'm excited for it.
That's beautiful.
Excited to see everybody out there.
Well, Matthew, good luck tomorrow night.
Thank you.
We
Thank you.
appreciate you stopping in and get some sleep tonight.
Oh, yeah.
And good luck, County.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
congratulations
Matthew
on the
Elms.
award too. This is it, award
Yeah.
winner right here from Dos Palos, Matthew Elms. Gotta love it.
Let's come back and talk with Jonathan Jeffries. Where's he going?
He's going to a little college in the Ivy League called Dartmouth.
We'll be back. Nick and Matt Show live from Pardini's. Welcome back to Pardini's. It's the Nick and Matt Show, the City County Eve of the 61st annual City County football game. Jonathan Jeffries. And Matt, you kind of met, when did you meet Jonathan Jeffries?
Tonight, actually. I've always admired him from afar, but
How many times did I tell Matty J, you've got the best tight end in the state of California. You might want to throw him the ball. How many times did I
every day, Nick.
Okay.
Every day.
Welcome and
Sorry about
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You had to
I've
hear
been
that.
glad to tell
We
you
did
that.
discuss the
And
idea that you
saw
needed
that
the ball
before.
more.
So
We did
Jonathan, tell me about your. Let's go senior year. You got to show everyone that ring. Holy moly! That's the Valley Championship ring for
Zoom
the
into
Edison
that.
Tigers. And look at it, goes with the watch well. He's almost like a jewelry model. You know. So how did it feel to win the Valley? First time for Edison since 1975.
We always talked about it from the summer. With all these new coaches that came in, Maddie really had us like an all-star cast of coaching. And like our offensive coordinator always talked about over the summer, like our routines, like in the weight room. He said it'd pay off in December when we were playing in the Valley game, and it really did. When we won, it was this incredible feeling. And then a few months back when we got our rings, it was just amazing to see all your hard work pay off and actually hold it.
That's a big ring. That's a 5-pound ring.
They designed it. That was their idea, to get that. I was going for just the little P, just something subtle.
He wanted silver. Everybody else wanted gold.
That is very. You would think you won the Super Bowl. So that was a special run last year by the Tigers. You're down 14-0 in the semifinals to Clovis. Come back and win.
Yeah.
Tell us about your coach. He's not listening. Look away, Matt. His halftime speeches. You were down 2 or 3 games last year, 14-0 at the half. What goes on at halftime at the Edison Tigers halftime talks, and what? Because you came out, you were a whole different team in the second half.
Yeah, I'd say we're a second half team. Maddie, what the speeches that he gave us, he always got really into it. He always got emotional, and like you could tell, he's passionate about the game and about us. Like you're really a family, and it really just got everybody fired up and just ready to go out there and turn things around in the second half.
Well, the great thing about JJ is that you rarely, and I mean this, rarely do you get the blend of almost the perfect student athlete. A guy that's doing it all right in the classroom. He's doing it right on the football field. Handsome, good-looking guy. We called him Slash. Slash, model, actor, student, football guy. He was definitely at the top of the food chain when
And
it
why
came down
didn't
to
you throw him the football?
Well, that wasn't always my decision. There's another coach who we can discuss that with. But we tried a lot of times. But the quarterback, his best buddy, Hunter Swearengin, sometimes went the other way, unfortunately.
Unbelievable. If I would have had a tight end like you, would have caught 20 a game.
Yeah.
There's no one stopping you. So you're going away. What's that little school you're going again?
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth. And it's not around the corner. So you're going away. Is your parents, your family, are they ready for this? Because my daughter just moved to Boston, and I need therapy. Okay? So that's 6 hours on an airplane.
Yeah, well, my whole family's proud of me and everything. It's going to be a real transition. Like, I barely learned how to do my own laundry. And
Well, I haven't yet either, so don't worry about it.
He has it. True story. His room is his laundry room.
It's really
and
ugly.
clothes
Sorry.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's not good.
So it's going to be a real transition, but I'm ready for the next chapter in life. It's a great place, and the opportunity is amazing. But my whole family, they're supporting me the whole way, and they're really proud of me. That's it.
Little treat, little secret from the peg meter. So when you have the clothes on the ground, on the whole pile, and you want to wear that one in the middle, go get some ice cubes, put it in the dryer, and it steams it up, and it's brand new. 10 minutes, you got yourself. You don't have to go to the dry cleaners. At home, try it.
Does the ice help the smell of the shirt that was in the middle of the stack all day long or all
If you
week?
put a little clean free in there, that
Helpful
helps too.
hint from the bag meter.
Yeah.
Don't wash your
Ice
clothes.
cube.
Ice cubes, steam them up, and put them back on.
It's not like he's going to have clean every time. There's going to be a pile, but the ice cubes, clean, the little clean, that'll get the,
This guy's going to figure it out. I spent, I don't know how many miles it was overall, the whole journey, but we took these guys down to Southern California, and he rode with me the whole way down and back, and special young man. I have a feeling he'll figure anything out. If anything he hasn't figured out yet, he'll figure it out when he gets out of town.
So what are you playing tomorrow in the City County game? Offense or defense?
I'm playing offense. I'm playing tight end.
Oh, shocker.
Oh,
Are they going to throw you the ball, maybe?
Yeah. They there's some designated plays for me and everything. I should.
That was Jonathan Jeffries of the Edison Tigers. And before, he just left here with his family. He's moving to Dartmouth. I mean, that's a long way away, but it looks like he can handle it.
Well, he had opportunities now for military academies, Cornell, Bucknell, and other schools in there. And he took Coach Buddy Tevens, who's the head coach of Dartmouth, who used to coach Stanford. He's a Dartmouth grad. He came out to our high school at Edison and really put on a show, and really, in my opinion, was as impressive a head coach trying to sell his university of any of the coaches of any of the universities. Jonathan was sold, and we're very proud of him, obviously. And as we all for all the City County All-Stars, that was really a good experience, Nick, to sit back and be a part of watching all these great young student athletes go into the next chapter of their lives.
Well, we did the dinner tonight here at Pardini's, so we wanted to bring the show to you guys. We got to see the city team, the county team, and just on paper, you know how it is, where it's like almost a heavyweight fight when you see both fighters. The city, the PEG meter has the city as a heavy favorite going in. Size, speed, 4 quarterbacks. The county can't have any injuries because they are thin. Like Coach Bonner Cunning said, injuries and the people not showing up has hurt the county.
Yeah, well, it's crazy too
Yeah.
because typically the difference is the city football team, by loss of guys going to college that the coaches won't let them play in the All-Star game. You lose certain players that just want to move on. They don't want to be a part of this. It typically strikes the city team. This is the first year, and I've been involved watching this thing for, 15, 16 years now. The county team is the low number as far as personnel goes. They only have 30-plus players, where they started with 61, I believe. So they've lost a lot more players than I've seen in a while. Alex Trevino, the great offensive lineman out of Kingsburg, he's not playing. He could have helped up front. As you said, only five offensive linemen at Coach Bonner Cunning's disposal. It could be a benefit early, but as the game wears on, with new fresh bodies coming in with the size of that city, that could be the tail of the tape, as we call the game on ESPN 940 radio tomorrow night. That could be the intro for me, and what's the game-changing part of this? Do they wear down the county?
No, they're definitely going to wear down. Quarterbacks for the city, again, 4. We sat with Zach Ritchie tonight for the county. They only have 2 quarterbacks, him and Josh Sierra. I think you get a better feel as a quarterback than having 4 quarterbacks. You don't get a feel as much. That could be a big factor.
Exactly. In an all-star game, definitely at the quarterback position, less is more, if you get what I'm saying. Having 2 quarterbacks, that assures both those quarterbacks that they're going to get a chance to really set their rhythm.
Yeah.
And as a coach, you get one guy that starts, and let's say he's not doing so well, you just go with the other guy, and then he gets going, then the other guy can get going, as opposed to saying, okay, you had your moment, now we got to wait for the rotation to come all the way around after 3 other guys go, then you're back up.
Kind of cold.
That could be, that is a definite big plus in the checkmark column for the county.
Well, right now it's 1-1. City baseball beat the county 5-3. Last night, the county softball team beat the city 9-6, 1-1. I think last year the county steamrolled almost on every sport. I can't remember the county winning. I'll have to look that up as we scroll.
You mean the county steamrolled or the city last year?
The city rolled everyone, I
Yeah.
believe, last year. It was just one of those years where the city just dominated. This is a very good city class. I mean, I'm looking on offense and defense.
It's
They
not
are
only
absolutely
it's
loaded.
not only good. You're looking at, and Coach Bonner Cunnings of Madera High School, the South coach, made it very clear to me. What was that? Did I count that right? There's 10 college guys that were announced this evening at the dinner for City. Typically, once again, a lot of those college guys declare not to play in this all-star game. So to have that collection of a Ricky McCoy down to a Tyler Horton to a Jonathan Jeffries to A.J. Greeley, Kai Williams, Vance Sams Jr., the young man from boy, the name escapes me. Lots of college guys. Lots of college guys. Don't want to leave anybody out. But we'll get to our rosters. We'll get our game faces on tomorrow night, Nick. But I expect a tough physical game. But can the county withstand the mass amounts of numbers that they're going to be thrown at them?
Night.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you just look at last year, because you had the same kind of talent, and you won, I believe it was 51-23. You tied a record of 51 points, and I could see this city team doing the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely. With that brand of football, Pete Joseph, up-tempo style, if they get it clicking, with the wave of talented athletes they can keep throwing into the game. And that's another factor. We'll talk about that tomorrow night, and we'll close this video podcast off. But the big factor as a coach, for me, insight, sometimes in all-star games, most of the time, you want to put on a show. You got your parents here, your uncles, your aunts, your friends, some of your classmates are at the game. You want to put on a show. So you might only get 4 or 5 touches, but you're going full speed ahead because you want to be that guy to make the play. So when you have a lot of depth on your roster of a bunch of new guys going in to try to put on a show, this could get out of hand early.
Yeah, it really could. Before we go, I got to ask you, last week we had the DB Guru Camp. Jim Harbaugh was in town. We had 300 kids out there. We had video. We'll show some more right now as we're talking about it. But then yesterday, Nick Saban, a lot of coaches are saying, hey, this is not right that Jim Harbaugh can have all these satellite camps going around. Is it true? I mean, does he have a beef, or is he more of a jealous, like, how come I didn't think of this?
Well,
a little both.
And the statement was basically from the Southeast Conference and other people around college football. That is recruiting. That is what it is. It's not some ploy to kind of teach football to a bunch of young kids and do the right thing necessarily. I'm not saying it's the wrong thing. I'm just saying it's a little more than that. Absolutely, when you show up for these satellite camps, 11-stop tour around America, you're selling your program. You got all your coaches there. You're showing off your style. You have the greatest marketing chip in all of college football, in my opinion, for this upcoming season, and that's head coach Jim Harbaugh. Get him out, let the masses of people see him all over the country, and start boosting your recruiting efforts. So I do believe that what they're saying is true. Coach Harbaugh, on the other hand, says it's strictly his passion for the game, his love of football. He's not trying to reshape the brand of Michigan or market his program. I don't believe that's true. He might believe that, but obviously the NC2A is going to have to look into these satellite camps that have popped up everywhere now, seemingly overnight. This is the new way to get extra time to help recruit.
Well, what's the difference between that and AAU basketball, where they have these basketball, all these coaches show up in Vegas or wherever? What's the difference?
There is no difference. Good
So,
point. There is no difference. That's where basketball evolved years and years
They
ago.
started it.
And because of 7-on-7, because of all these new camps and all the stuff that goes on in all the universities in America, clearly football is heading towards that basketball model for all this activity that goes on in the summertime. Whether or not the NC2A allows it to progress to the next step, who knows? For my way of thinking, keep it going, love it. Every opportunity is a good opportunity. More exposure, more exposure, more exposure. If it's good enough for basketball, it might as well be good enough for football. The genie is out of the bottle.
Yeah.
It's out there now. We all can be involved in this.
If I have a son and I got an opportunity to take him and spend a couple $100 and Jim Harbaugh's in town, that's the greatest investment ever.
Well, your
I
son,
can show him off and let everyone see him, and he's going to make it or he's not.
Well, yeah, I mean, your son's not going to make it.
Because I don't have a boy. I got
Well,
girls.
either way, you've
Yeah.
got your kids have no chance.
Yeah.
But for the kids that do have a chance, yeah. But for your sons and daughters, it's a great moment. It's a good photo op. It's a good chance for Nick to pad all those great pictures of your family. And I saw you there
That'd
with
be
your
fine with
camera.
me, yeah.
Just to take a shot.
You're
don't
watching
kid
some
yourself.
videos.
I was just in awe as everybody else. I wanted to get Buddy Dudley up with Jim Harbaugh and get a photo. He's that big of a deal to me because he's the new college football icon, in my opinion. Pete Carroll, I believe, started it. I really do. Many coaches before him, don't get me wrong. But Pete Carroll started that enthusiastic, work the drills, down, everybody, let's go, let's go. I think Pete Carroll really started that tempo thing. And Jim Harbaugh, clearly that's his style. I had more fun watching Jim Harbaugh in his Hager slacks with his football cleats
In
on with his
104
slacks,
weather.
with his long sleeve shirt, wearing the Michigan cap, run around like an 18-year-old. I love that guy.
This is what I love. Two things I want to ask you. Number one is you just said it. Jim Harbaugh running around. We're going to show it right now. Working with the quarterbacks. It's 104 degrees. Most coaches, I would have just guessed, Jim Harbaugh's in town. He's sitting in the golf cart with Tony Perry, and he's taking photo ops. He was out working his tail off. The other thing is, why wasn't Tim DeRuyter and the Fresno State staff at least walking around? Do you think they were invited, or they just don't believe in these things? Because that was a great example of maybe having the Fresno State staff understand we got some talent here in the state, and they weren't here. I don't understand why they weren't here.
I can't even begin to go there because I don't know. I really don't understand, nor does anyone really yet. Clearly, because the Southeast Conference and their coaches are complaining. I don't understand how you get into that. I saw Azusa Pacific, I saw Cal Poly, and I saw
Utah
Clay
State
Helton.
was here?
I saw Clay Helton, the offensive coordinator of USC, was there. I don't know. Does Michigan invite them, or does the DB Guru group that set it up invite them? I don't know. So you're way out of line even beginning to go there. That
No,
Coach
I
DeRuyter
just don't
wasn't
understand
involved in
why
that.
the home team wasn't here. Maybe they didn't know about it. And if that's the case, then Fresno State should.
My thinking
I
is
don't know.
in the future, more schools. I'm hearing about it. It's not just me pulling this out of my tail. I'm coming up with what's happening. More schools are going to piggyback. These satellite camps are going to be piggyback events. So you'll go to San Jose State and you'll knock off Cal, Stanford, St. Mary's, or anyone else who's in that area can all show up, and you get 18 different colleges all looking at all the 300 kids. That's what's happening.
The reason why I liked it, if I'm a Fresno State, Tim DeRuyter and the staff, well, they have a budget for recruiting. They just have 300 kids from San Diego to Eureka that comes in their town,
Yeah.
then if I'm driving around and I just heard that, I'm getting on the phone. Hey, get out to Roosevelt and walk around and see what's going on and get some names. They don't have to even be here to coach. If they see number 422 DB Guru, get that guy's name. I would just help
Yeah.
on a budget wise. It's got to help recruiting.
Well, and then speaking of budgets, what kind of budget does the University of Michigan have? They brought not only their whole coaching staff, auxiliary support staff on 11 tour stop around America. They had apparel, they had goodies galore, and now that's a recruiting budget.
Well, let me ask you this: what's cheaper, that or having Jim Harbaugh's offensive coordinator fly to Dallas, then Indiana, Seattle, to see 8 kids around the country? I think you hit one stop, bring everybody. It's got to be cheaper.
Well,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
but that time of year, keep in mind, NC2A rules prohibit the contact that you can get
Well, how does
during
that work
recruiting
then?
season.
Is
You
this
can fly-
considered?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what they're.
Oh.
That's how they're doing this.
Oh.
They're outside the box, the window of recruiting. This is purely a camp. The kids pay the money to go to it. It's a camp, and in the current rules as NC2A states, it is allowable. He was not doing anything illegal. Let's make that very clear. The rule is there's a loophole in that rule that it does allow for this, and a lot of colleges are jumping on that. How long it takes to close that loophole for the NC2A and other college campuses, administrations, that's what the debate's going to be here in the next year or two. Trust me on that. But what he did was totally legal. The difference is during recruiting season, when the window is officially open, you can bring head coach, coordinator, and they get to sit down and actually, how are you, son? They get those visits to really get a chance to go one-on-one. That's not what this was. This was a mass audience of young, talented kids, but don't kid yourself. Michigan had their eye on a few that were there. And that's where the argument's going to hit.
That's one thing I looked at the Michigan staff, and they saw bodies, and they really focus on bodies. They didn't care if a little kid caught a pass or not.
No,
they saw some
exactly.
body. They said,
did.
"Okay, who's
But
that
when they
kid?"
saw the 6'4" body run
Yeah.
by, okay.
Yeah, who's that?
Bobby,
Yeah,
you got-
Gary,
who's
get that guy's number.
You got you got him down.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, it's human nature. How could you not deny that?
Our one last national news before we let you go. We have the Tom Brady gate of the football. What's worse, Tom Brady and the football, or now my St. Louis Cardinals and the hacking of the Houston Astros that they call it?
I don't even know what that means. I that's another one. The ball thing was enough. I finally understood a little bit, whatever. But so you hacked my database. What'd you see? Yeah, they've got up and coming, third baseman. Don't you already know that information?
Yeah, everyone has the same information.
Don't they have the same book on every talented guy? Shouldn't they? I don't understand.
What I don't understand is, Matt, is that going to help Rainwright Achilles, or is that going to help me hit a better curveball? I think
No.
it's garbage. I think it's a silly. What
I
it
mean,
is
doesn't the federal government hack into our stuff anytime they want?
anytime
Well,
they
then
want.
What's the big
What
deal?
it is, bottom line is a St. Louis Cardinals staff member went to Houston, and I just think there's tension mounting. I think it's ridiculous. The Cardinals are America's team. I'm a Cardinal fan, okay? We're America's team. Don't try to take us down. Come on. Can't do that with the Cardinals.
You and the 6 other, our home audience, your 6 other friends of the Cardinals, woohoo for you, good job. But no,
I just saw
they're definitely not America's team. Although I do have to hand it to you, boy, they're good.
Smoke and
They
mirrors. I mean,
are
come on. We
good.
can't hit. It's just, I just thought it
Golden
was
State
kind of-
wrapped it up.
Yes.
Close with
we
that.
We called that.
I didn't call it. You didn't call it. Everybody in America called it that seemed to be on a radio or talking heads on TV or whatever it might be. And it looked like it wasn't happening. But yes, indeed, everyone thought eventually the depth of the Warriors will wear down the Cavs or LeBron, as you said. By the way, great move by you at the game when you announced at the City County All-Star Baseball game. The final score is in.
Oh, I gave it.
Golden State,
104.
104, LeBron,
91.
91.
Yeah.
Everyone got a big kick out of that because that was the truth. I mean, the poor guy. It was LeBron against the world, and it didn't work out. But hey, tomorrow night, once again, you know the deal.
It's football season.
The game will be long over by the time this gets to your hands as you download this taping. But City County 61st annual All-Star Football Classic. What a night we had tonight. What a showing too.
Well, let's see how we do in predictions. What are you calling tomorrow night? Like I said, this will come out after the game. So this, we're gonna, hopefully I'll have this out by Saturday, but the game's on Friday. What are you calling?
As much as I truly mean this, Bonner Cunnings, I always tell everybody this. He's one of my favorite coaches of all time. He and his staff are wonderful. They do represent the conference I'm from, the CMAC conference. Go get them, county. But I just see that the city has too much. I look at it as I'll give it 31 to 14, 31 to 10, somewhere in there, 31 to 10. I didn't see who the field goal kicker, by the way, from county. Did they introduce a field goal kicker?
Didn't see the kicker. I know the city has Nicholas Morone.
Madera's got probably the best kicker in the valley, but he's only a junior.
junior.
So Bonner couldn't call him his Madera Coyote kicker. So I don't know if they have a kicking game. That's why I give it, a 10 point. Let's go for 2. I'll give the benefit of the doubt. 31-14. I've got City winning in pretty good fashion.
Do they? Okay. So the over and under for punts tomorrow, because you had a lot of punts too.
Everybody's going to have punts in All-Star games. Over under punts. Let's go with that.
So does AJ Greeley run back a punt for the city? Because he's back at punt formation. And by the way,
if they punt to him,
it's again, and I don't like the rule, but you cannot play both ways. Unfortunately, a guy like AJ Greeley can't play wide or slot back or whatever, wildcat quarterback. We've got to change that rule, and we're going to work on it. But I see the city. The record for most points is 51. Matt tied it last year with the 2008 year of 51 points. They might break the record. It's going to be that close tomorrow. The only problem they might have is 4 quarterbacks getting a rhythm, because if someone plays in the first series or second and they don't play again until the third quarter, that's like a baseball pitcher throwing 3 innings and then you have that rain delay for an hour and a half, and then, okay, Gary, go back in the bullpen and warm up. You just don't feel the same. Yeah. So that could be a
and I will say this to cover all ends of my deal, which I like to do, sit on the fence.
Mr. Politician.
But it's the truth. I would like nothing more than to see an old-fashioned 7-7 ball game going late into the 4th, and they're getting it toe-to-toe, smash-mouth football. That's really what I'd like to see. If Bonner Cunnings and Pete Joseph got themselves in that kind of a game, I'd be the happiest color analyst in football tomorrow. I do not want to see a blowout or anything that becomes that kind of deal. I want to see an old-fashioned defensive struggle, and I think the county's defense is the hidden factor. They have to control that up-tempo offense. And if that happens, which we'll find out next week when this airs, and we'll talk about it, if that happens, everybody wins. I don't want to see any way, shape, or form any kind of a blowout. I want to see a close game. And Bonner and that coaching staff from the county, and more importantly, those young men who dedicated themselves as people kept flying off their roster sheet, they deserve that. Those young guys we met, the guys we met tonight, they deserve that.
Here's what I'm saying, you city county kids, especially county this year. If you can't play, say you can't play early, let someone else play. So this is what happens. They had 50-plus players, and they're down to 35 because kids just didn't show up at practice. Just say from the get-go, when you get the phone call, we'd like to have you play in the city-county game. You know what? I'm sick of football. I don't want to play. Say now because you took away another spot.
I don't understand the
yes
mentality from anyone that would commit to play and then fat cat or bail out. Or if you commit to play, then take a page. Pete Joseph said it perfectly tonight. I coached it the last year. Do what the Clovis Cougar kids do. And obviously, Rich Hammond, if you're watching, do what he obviously preaches. Stand by your commitment and show up on time, ready to go, have fun, enjoy the game. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, before we go, I want to give a shout-out to Rich Hammond and the Clovis Cougars, because Pete Joseph said that all the Cougars were there 10 minutes before practice, and that'll tell you young guys out there.
They were that way when I coached. All the Clovis Cougars that I had were that way. Clearly.
Practice starts at 5. They're there at 4:50 ready to go. You don't get there at 5:02, not stretch. I love that. Guys, 3rd episode, it's in the books, Nick and Matt show. Look at the alarms going off. We want to thank Rain for Rent. Again, Rain for Rent has been a big sponsor to us. 559-907-8379. They're the irrigation specialists. Next week, let's start getting into football and maybe start talking about maybe the top 25 rankings of the PAG meter, because it's football season now. I always think once the city-county game comes around, it's football season. And you're playing practice during the summer, it's on.
It's on.
Matt, thanks again.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week. It's been live for Pardini's, the Nick and Matt Show. Have a great week, everybody.
Get in the game.
Your life is intertwined with water. It grows the food you eat, powers the world, and helps discover the fuel to move. You use water every day. We move water every day. You may know the basic equipment you need on your job, but when you're challenged by liquid handling, you need an experienced team backed by skilled engineers. That's part of what we call liquid ingenuity, and it's what differentiates Rain for Rent. Liquid ingenuity is experience. Planning is backed by skilled engineers and specialized teams who understand your industry. Liquid ingenuity is safety. Rain for Rent's flexible team adapts to changes and helps mitigate your risks. Liquid ingenuity is effectiveness. Projects are done right the first time, on time, with the best filtration and pumping systems designed to meet your needs. Liquid ingenuity is innovation. Rain for Rent is working to redefine what is expected from a liquids handling provider by developing new equipment and harnessing technology. Liquid ingenuity is equipment. Rain for Rent's complete line of pumps, tanks, filtration units, spill guards, and pipe are built to handle your toughest jobs in the most demanding environments. The equipment is designed tough because you depend on it. And you aren't the only one. Experts in water and wastewater, construction, up, mid, and downstream petroleum, manufacturing, mining, agriculture, power, disaster relief, and remediation all choose Rain for Rent. That's why Rain for Rent employs the best to make your choice easy. In this busy world, when you find yourself seeking an experienced, effective solution from someone who understands your industry needs, count on Rain for Rent.